Okay, let's be real. Everybody knows what Cataclysm is. Classic extreme demon, probably one of the easiest extremes in the game, so it's really good to go for as your first one. But I think it could be just a little bit harder. So, I've just turned on the hitboxes, and as you can see, these spikes? Nah, they ain't good. Alright, so as you can see, I've buffed all of the spike hitboxes, so that the hitboxes are more or less accurate to the spike. They might jut out a bit more than the points, as you can see with a couple of them, like the first few. But all in all, they'll function as they intended. Tiles like these, will not be changed because their hitboxes already jut out further. And let's give it a test. Okay, the coin was a bit harder, but there wasn't really much else of a difference. Oh, we've made it to a good part. For most sections, to buff a hitbox, you'll need to put down, like, another spike inside of the spike. But this is a wave section, so we can actually make the spikes in this section as accurate as possible by instead putting down a pair of slopes at the tip of the spike, instead of another spike. Because that makes the spike's hitbox, like, perfect. So let's do this to all the other spikes, and boom, there we go. Now these are some accurate spikes. Alright, I just finished buffing the wave, and oh boy, this looks really hard. Basically, the way I added these kind of lines of spikes is I just got a line of these mini spikes, and I put them on every single slope. Since these spiky slopes don't actually have a spike hitbox, they just have a ledge hitbox. So, I will be the first to say this looks really messy, and I've only put the accurate hitboxes on points where the wave's actually going to touch it. But let's test, is this wave possible on accurate hitboxes? Yup! Okay, wave is possible. Alright, so next we have this ship section. So, from the looks of it, the gear hitboxes seem to be just fine, and as usual, these kind of like thorny hitboxes are okay, but the spike hitboxes, they're lacking. So I'm gonna buff all these spike hitboxes that need it. So let's quickly get all of these spike hitboxes buffed. Boom, there we go. As you can see, every single spike in the editor for this ship section has now been given an accurate hitbox. So let's see, is this possible with accurate hitboxes? Oh my word, that is so much harder! Alright, time to buff this little wave section with the funny spikes. It shouldn't take that long. Alright, so the wave is done and it looks filthy, so let's give it a quick go. Ah, easy. Okay, so the Cataclysm ball. I can see this becoming quite a bit harder, so let's add the buffs. Alright, so now the ball has been buffed, and since the ball consists of basically just spikes, all I did is I made every single spike a bit more accurate, so let's give it a test. Yeah, whoa, hang on. That's impossible. So if you set up an accurate hitbox here, the ball cannot fall far enough to clear it. So the section's actually impossible with accurate hitboxes. Oh my goodness, that is so much harder! Alright, next we have to buff this UFO. There's a lot of spikes in here, but I'm only gonna buff the ones that, like, the player's actually likely to bump into, so... You know, spikes like these ones at the back, they aren't gonna get buffed, but the ones that you can actually viably crash into, I'm going to buff. Let's see how much harder the UFO gets. Alright, so the buffs on the UFO are complete, every single spike is a bit tighter. So let's see, is the UFO still possible in this rate? Okay, that's possible then. Next is this awful ship section. So let's see, is this part possible with accurate hitboxes? Alright, so this part doesn't look too much different buffed. The main part are these spikes. I kind of put some side hitboxes on them as well, just to kind of make them a bit harder. And you might notice that the ship has basically no changes. This is because, like, what player is going to end up coming down to these lower spikes and still surviving anyway? They don't really need to be more accurate. The main ones that need to be accurate are these big ones, because they make the actual choke point of this part even tighter. So let's see, is it still possible? I think I might have to speed hack this one. Wow, that is... I mean, this section is possible, but you gotta be, like, the absolute king of straight flying. Like, The rest of it's really not that bad, but this part here is absolutely filthy with correct hitboxes. Right, next up is this fast cube. So let's see how much harder it can become. Right, so the cube buff is all done. Every hitbox in this section is accurate. And the main hitboxes in this section that are accurate are the spikes that you're actually likely to hit, like these two. So, is this part possible? Okay, yeah. Yeah. And that's impossible as well! Okay, so... Oh. Oh, and it's impossible to go down that too, so... Do I need to nerf that part as well? Rip. Okay, there we go. Next is the classic memory part. How hard would this be with accurate hitboxes? I mean, if we're talking accurate spike hitboxes, I suppose we'll see if it's possible or not, but if we're talking accurate as in getting rid of fake hitboxes, boop, the level kinda becomes impossible. Alright, so this is what it looks like buffed. I've put like, you know, the classic 1 extra hitbox on the big spikes, and the smaller spikes have gotten 3 since they're wider than their usual hitbox, so I made the hitboxes wider. Let's see if it's possible. Oh, wonderful. It's not hard, haha. Oh boy, the section I've been dreading. Because I am not good at straight fly, as you could tell from that ship part at 40. And this is a whole lot of ship part that needs buffing. So, let's see how possible this becomes. Alright, so this is the outcome of buffing the Cataclysm ship by making it accurate, and oh my goodness. I do not know if I'll be able to do this in normal mode at all. Like, I might need to just speed hack this, because this looks ridiculous. Suppose we'll see though. Oh my goodness. Yep, even with perfect straight fly, you cannot get through that gap. I'll lower it down a bit. Will that fix it? Oh, that is disgusting. And I assume the rest isn't going to be that bad, so let me just check that. Oh, that's also horribly tight. Hang on, let me try that in normal. Okay, yeah, that end part is possible. Now, we're up to the most infamous, well no, not infamous, but like famous part of the level, the classic Cataclysm wave. So what do you guys think this'll look like with accurate hitboxes? So this is what the wave looks like. As you can see, if I go to the layer which I've been putting the hitboxes in, I basically coded all of the ledges in spike hitboxes, these mini spike hitboxes, because by default the actual spike hitboxes here are ledge hitboxes instead of spike hitboxes, so they're a bit longer. I've also put a couple hitboxes in these fire pits, just because it kind of looks like it should kill you, but it doesn't. In particular, these two here, in this spot. So let's see, is it possible? Yep, it's possible. And quickly update this last bit. Right, so for the final buffs to the level using accurate hitboxes, I've buffed the final straight fly. And out of curiosity to see if the third coin is still possible, I buffed the hitbox on the saw blade to make it accurate. So let's see if this end part is still possible. I mean, it should be. There's no way it's not, right? Yeah, it's still possible. What about the straight fly? Oh. Okay, there we go. Alright, yeah, so that's the level with accurate hitboxes. With a couple nerfs here and there to make it possible. I'm going to upload this to the servers with a shortcut so that I don't get in trouble with funny Geometry Dash Creator. I'll make it copyable, and I will put the level ID in the description, I'm gonna splice together a run of this using the player Hitbox trail, but before I do, please leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this kind of content and want to see more, and perhaps leave a comment with a suggestion of what level I should give accurate hitboxes to next, because I think this is quite an interesting series. With that said, it's been Face, and I hope you enjoy the replay.